Hello and welcome to episode 51 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by Drumblebum. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you, lovely gentlemen, today? On this incredibly fucking warm day, might I add, with an incredibly high pollen count.
Yes, on both sides of the channel, it is unfeasibly warm today.
Yeah, yes.
You guys are almost as warm as me, which is pretty ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So, if this ends with just a melting sound as we all just turn into puddles on the floor, don't worry about it. I'm sure someone will come along and edit it together.
Then who was Upload?
Who knows? It's part of our last will and testament.
Fucking Jeff takes over the channel. Well, you know what? No, we can't die. We can't leave the channel to Jeff, our neighbour.
We can't, no.
No, we hate that guy. Fuck him.
But apart from the heat, are you okay, Matt?
Yeah, I'm very good.
Good. And you, Snipe?
I'm fine.
Everything is fine.
Yeah, I've got some allergies going on today because even though I've gotten a little bit better through medicine, apparently the weather decided to just come and kick me in the face, so that's something.
Yeah, so I guess we should get a few little bits of housekeeping out the way first.
Okay.
So for one, last episode was the live episode.
Yes, it was.
So much fun.
I'm sure a lot of people probably think it was just a sweet, sweet dream now.
It was, yeah. So yeah, thank you to everyone who came to see that. It was an experience to do all this live, and
it was
a little bit nerve-wracking because we couldn't,
we could barely interact with chat at all because of the audio and whatnot. And
yeah, we had to. We couldn't just cut out the bits of rambling nonsense that we normally cut out. So, like, for example, I couldn't do anything like where, say I sat down and went, is a good thing for society and is the way of the future. And I couldn't just bleep that out or whatever.
Are you going to bleep that out?
Yeah, I'm going to bleep that out, don't worry.
Okay.
Also, I want to say, it's a real thing. If you're either a or an neither of which are fucking good, and
yeah, and we can just bleep
God,
it.
that felt good. I know we're going to bleep it out, so everyone's just going to be like, what did she say? It's really nothing that interesting. It's just stuff that everyone who is sensible knows.
But we don't have to worry about it.
Don't have to worry about it. Drama Matt, do you want to say anything that we can bleep out?
Yeah, fuck.
Oh God, no, okay, that's too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you everyone who came to see it, 'cause it was a lot of fun despite being a little nerve-wracking.
I think it's just we hadn't done anything like that before.
Oh yeah. Likewise, as sort of channel news, since the last podcast, we have got a new PC built that you lot very kindly helped us fund. So thank you very much to everyone who pitched in for the new PC build. It is fully operational now.
Nice.
Did have a bit of a celebratory stream. Played some Doom. That was
because you couldn't before.
Yeah,
basically.
on stream anyway.
I could not
Yeah,
stream Doom at all before. I mean, it was kind of like a stress test stream, honestly. Yeah,
so,
it's super cool. Oh my God.
I do need to have a bit of a rejig of it because I've got like the fans not entirely set up super efficiently, so I need to like swap them around a bit so it has better airflow through it. But apart from that, it's all
we added
fine.
an extra fan at the top that's kind of sucking cold air in, and the other one's pushing it out. So, which is apparently the way you're supposed to do it. So
yeah, I think I need to swap a few of those around though. But yeah, so again, thank you very much for everyone who pitched in.
And just everyone who just came and hung out with us while we were fundraising. Or just, thank you. But yeah, no, everything's going really well. And it's just so nice living in the 21st fucking century.
And not having a PC that's like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And trying to keep up with the rest of the video game YouTubers while our PC is aging.
Yeah.
So, Snipe.
Yes.
What have you been up to in these last 2 weeks?
What have I been up to? I'll fucking tell you what I've been up to.
Sounds ominous as fuck.
To be fair, I kind of should put that in my Twitter bio. So what have I been up to? I've been a bit of shit. Actually, no, I've not been a bit shit. I've not been a bit of a shit. I've been working really hard at self-improvement.
Oh, good.
Because I'm one of those assholes, coming, desperately trying to force her way out of the mental illness slump. That's a lot of fun. Welcome to the MisanthroPod. We like to have fun here. Which basically
mental illness.
Honestly, no one should ever feel ashamed of talking about it.
No, not at all.
It's like, the guy, it's super embarrassing, but, I broke my arm, so I don't really like to talk about it. It's like, well, you do talk about it.
I'm sorry, but dude, I sprained my wrist once, so why don't you just walk it off? It's fine.
This is true. Walk on your wrist and walk it off.
Yeah.
To be fair, that's about as helpful as just try not to be depressed or anxious.
To be fair, neither of those are illnesses as such, but the point still stands.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've just been kind of focusing on my art. And, I haven't been playing many new games. I've been playing Overwatch Retribution, the new Overwatch update.
Yeah.
And immediately we've lost 50% of our listeners.
Well, we won't dwell on it for long, so we've talked a lot about Overwatch over the years.
Yeah, no. Overwatch over the years, yes. Overwatch Retribution, it's good. Moving on.
You can talk about it more than that.
No, I'm not going to. Fables, I've been reading that. I've read the first volume. Longfang sent me Fables 1 because he's a shit. And I've really enjoyed it. The graphic novel. Wolf Among Us, the Telltale game, before we realised that Telltale are maybe not the most innovative games developer out there.
What do you mean? They've only been making the same game for the last, 8 years?
Yeah. Well, I really love the Wolf Among Us, and I've wanted to get into the Fables comics for a while.
That's what it's based off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Wolf Among Us is a prequel to Fables, to the Fables comic series. So, I do like that, how it doesn't really spoil anything, and it does kind of give you a good lay of the land. So it's quite a good jumping in point.
Okay.
Hang
on.
Yes.
You enjoy it?
Yes.
And it's a prequel?
Yes.
Okay. We were asking about this about 5 or 6 episodes ago. We were saying, is there a good prequel?
Well, movie-wise, not really.
But
video game-wise, Metal Gear Solid 3 is the best Metal Gear Solid game. And that's a prequel.
Okay.
Yeah, I think video games sort of book the trend of because
they're the opposite of movies. Sometimes.
Because they go in line with tech. So very frequently, the second or third entry in a series is usually considered the best one of the series.
Whereas
that's
in movies,
very common.
it's usually a massive drop off in quality.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep looking for a good movie prequel then.
Yes.
Hey, carry on. Sorry.
Yes, I've been really enjoying that. I tore through the first volume. Thought that was fantastic. The art style's pretty decent. It's got that kind of old school 80s kind of comic look to it. The gritty kind of 80s comics, like Watchmen. The art style that was drawn in. It's quite similar to that, and it's quite flat colouring wise, which is, it actually kind of works with it. Because I think they're not that old.
I think the first one you've got, the compilation, I think that's from 2002, I think. I might be wrong, but that was at least when that compilation was put together.
Yeah, so they're not that old comic-wise, so it's just, yeah. But whatever, I think it's fun. But yeah, I will say that it was kind of a bit weird going from the game to the comics because the characters act a little differently. I feel, especially because I bought another one. I bought another Fables comic called Werewolves of the Heartland, which is actually really cool. It's just following Bigby around. Main character Bigby Wolf, he's the big bad wolf. Of course, I think he's amazing because he's big angry papa man.
He is indeed.
He is big angry papa man, and Bill William can quote me on that for his next Fables.
I love that the fact that
some dumb fuck on the internet said Bigby was their favourite papa man.
Yeah, please once again state the name of the person that writes Fables.
Bill Willingham.
Which sounds like a fake name.
What's your name?
William Willingham.
Yeah, yes. William Willingham, yeah.
Good.
It's fantastic.
That's fine. His parents were obviously very
imaginative.
Yeah. Very hip and all with it, yes. But no, the first one is following. I don't want to spoil too much, but there is a suspected murder.
Good Lord.
Happening. Do you know anything about Fables or The Wolf Among Us?
Nope. Well, okay, I know that it's set in a world where like fables and those sort of stories are real or something?
Yes. Basically, all the fairy tales and stuff are real.
Yeah.
They're all they are magical entities, but they are they're sentient beings that wander about.
Yeah.
They flee their homeland because of the adversary coming in and just basically destroying basically their dimension, their home. I don't know. I haven't got as far in. I don't know if it's ever explained properly. So they basically flee to the mundane world, which is our world.
Okay.
And they have their own very small community. Those who didn't get fucking shredded in the wars just hang out in I can't remember where it is. This town in America called Fabletown.
And I bet they get treated really lovingly by the rest of the people, because there's no history of minorities being treated badly in any country in the world.
Oh my god! The thing is that the whole thing is really interesting because they can't let Mundies or normal people know.
Oh, okay.
They can't do that. That's like the ultimate taboo. You cannot break that.
It's the masquerade.
Yes, the masquerade.
So people know that these things are around, but they don't know necessarily.
Nobody knows.
Oh, they don't know at all.
They don't know exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So they stick to themselves. They don't kind of branch out because there's basically two places fables go, which is Fabletown and the farm. So for people who can't afford glamours,
where they go after they need to be taken out back, and it's okay, he's gone to live on a farm.
Well, the farm is basically just a fancy prison for fables who can't afford glamours. So basically non-human fables, like the Three Little Pigs live up there.
Right.
And yeah, if you don't keep in glamour, which of course is incredibly expensive, and basically the Fable government controls, so if you can't afford that and the price keeps going up, then they're just going to have to send you to the farm.
Yeah, just so you know, a glamour in this context makes them look human.
Yeah, it makes
them look normal.
Yeah. So there's kind of like the government kind of structure is like King Cole is the mayor, and then there's the witches that he's got at his beck and call. And yeah, you've got to buy glamours, and it's ridiculously expensive, and it's all this bullshit because they can't I don't think they're funded. I think they have to just sit there and accept donations. So they're massively understaffed, underfunded. They all of them, all the princes and princesses and stuff like that have no money because everything was taken from them during the war, and they're well, sorry, can't help you out. And there's Beauty and the Beast, they're they're so used to being money that they really can't adjust, and they're in serious fucking debt, and it's just Jesus, this is too real,
because they're sort of a pocket state within something else.
Yeah, exactly.
Within another entity, but it's a secret, so it's you just set up your own nation state in your own flat, but then didn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So
it's actually very it's not grim, but it's kind of gritty.
It's
but
pretty
not,
grimdark.
But it's not in the fucking Frank Miller way where it's just I'm going to mention rape because that's really gross and it makes me look like I'm grim and dark and gritty. Yeah, I don't like Frank Miller. He can fuck off. Well, no, I don't know anything about the guy. I don't like his writing style. I think his writing style is incredibly tedious and I don't like it. But yeah, no, I think it does gritty in a very kind of realistic way. And I love the bringing something so fantastical like the big bad wolf. He's the sheriff of Fabletown, and how a lot of people are even though it's prohibited to, you can't judge people based on their crimes back when they were in the homeland. You can't do that, but people still kind of do. So you go, oh yeah, little Jack Horner, he's a fucking little shit. He's the same Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk as well. And it's oh yeah, he's a shyster. And, because remember all that weird shit he used to do back in the homeland? And it's you can't judge him on that. Remember the amnesty? It's not allowed. And everyone's kind of okay, fine. Still don't trust you, though. So putting Bigby Wolf in charge was kind of fun. And then Snow White's the second in command. And there's a kind of thing going on between Snow White and Bigby, which is totally awesome. And I love it, because I'm garbage. But yeah, no. I really, really, really like it. My biggest problem is that every book costs about £12-13.
There's a lot of them, isn't there?
There's at least 16 of the fucking things, and I'm oh, okay.
Well, you've got 2 of them.
I've got 2. I read Werewolves of the Heartland, which is actually really fun. I posted about it on Twitter because it's kind of it's a continuation from Bigby's past, because, he fought in the Second World War. Don't you know?
Yes.
Bigby Wolf, the big bad wolf, fought in the Second World... Not officially.
No one asked him to.
No one asked him to. He earned every single one of the medals he made for himself. But no, he just shipped over to Europe and started murdering Nazis.
Oh, cool.
And it's just like, yeah.
You go, Bigby.
As if I couldn't love you more. You go and do something like what a sweetheart. But yeah, and it's kind of like, it goes on from there and kind of how, like, the decisions he's made and things that have happened to him back during World War II, kind of like modern day, come back to haunt him, and like I do like it. It's pretty fun. There are lots of wolf boobs and wolf dicks in that one.
Yes, you showed me many pictures.
Yes,
Okay.
I saw Bigby's dingle.
Bigby by name, Big D by nature.
Well, yeah. There's also some kind of like very dodgy themes. I wasn't expecting such strong sexual themes in it. I mean, it's only like a couple of pages. It's not really gratuitous.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, right. Well, I turn a page and well, there it is. Okay,
Right.
righto. That's fine. But no, that's not why I'm recommending it. But it's got some fantastic comic violence in it. Good cathartic violence. And yeah, it's just fun to watch Bigby fuck about and just be Bigby Wolf.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can hardly recommend the Fables comics. That's very fun. Speaking of media, I finally got around to watching the entirety of One Punch Man.
Okay.
Yes.
It's good.
One Punch Man is pretty good.
It's very good. I like it. It was a bit sad, honestly, at times. I felt really bad for Saitama.
There is a real, like...
There's like a bitter undertone to it all.
Yeah, to the whole thing, because he's just kind of pissed off and the world is constantly trying to find ways to undermine him.
Well, I think everyone's had a brush with this, where the base kind of note for it is, this guy is phenomenal at what he does. Like, he's amazing. But society has put like a bunch of structures in there to make it so that they see him as a failure and refuse to acknowledge that he's actually incredibly good at something.
Well, Saitama tests bad. That's the problem.
Yeah, he tests bad, and it's like, that's too real. Everyone's had problems with that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's had that kind of thing, and it's like, god dang.
I said to you at the time, if you want that same basic story, but you want the one that's a little bit more hopeful, try Mob Psycho 100.
I just want to read Mob Psycho because of the Body Improvement Club. They seem like total sweethearts, and I love it.
The Body Improvement Club are fantastic.
Yeah,
You'd love them. Yeah. They're good boys.
Good boys. Oh, there's something. I'm completely off topic. I just remembered because I noticed them on my face. I have to wear glasses now.
Oh yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah, no, but only when I'm at the computer, which again
is most of
my day. Like everything I do, work, fun, is on the computer.
Yep.
So it's like, well, I guess I'm just basically wearing glasses now all the time.
Yeah, the both of us went to go get eye tests because we realised that neither of us had an eye test in about 15 years minimum.
Yeah, I got Mrs. Ward, when was your last eye test? I was like, 20 years ago? And he was like, oh, shit, okay. It's been a while then. I'm like...
It's like all the machinery they use now is new.
They have a machine that just goes... like, blows fucking air in your eyes at random intervals. Apparently, I scored 15.
Yeah, I've never actually had to do that because my last eye test was about the same time as your last eye test.
Oh, dang. They take a photo of, like, the back of your eye as well.
Yeah.
Like, they basically just flash
and it's actually
your
quite
eyeball.
important because they can detect various other issues as well when they're doing your eye test.
Well, I mean, the puff of air in the eye is apparently to detect, like, glaucoma or something.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't tell me what it was for. I just thought they were being dicks.
Oh, this is because like, when I went in there, I have so many friends in there now.
You do, yeah. You were making friends with everyone. No one fucking talked to me.
It's because you gotta be friendly.
I'm friendly. Ish.
Okay, I'm actually looking over my glasses at you.
Now you're just abusing your wearing glasses ability, which I can't.
Not yet, not until Tuesday.
Because I've also got glasses as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm long-sighted, which means that which explains so much because Wib is short-sighted.
Okay.
And so I'd be able to see something like fucking miles away.
So yeah, long-sighted means you can see long, but you struggle seeing short.
Yeah, it's like something within like 2-3 feet in front of me is a bit tricky to kind of focus on. Whereas stuff like 2-3 miles away, I can read a book at that distance.
You might be a superhero.
I've always been really good at like distance.
I think 2-3 miles might be an exaggeration.
Okay, maybe 1 mile.
Yeah, whereas I'm fine up close, but anything about over like 2 meters or so, everything starts getting a little blurry if I need to read something. So basically, I will need to wear glasses for like watching TV or like going to the cinema, those kind of things. But I'm generally fine for other things, so I have them, but I won't actually have to wear them super often.
Whereas me, on the other hand, but I made so many friends when I went in there. It was actually very interesting. Okay, so I go in and I get my eye test done by this very lovely lady. Who's like telling me all about because you gotta look at the hot air balloon.
Yeah.
You gotta look at.
Still, I remember looking at a hot air balloon.
Yeah, it's like a pretty hot air balloon. You gotta look at a hot air balloon, and she was quite nice. And then I went and sat down because this place has like 8 waiting rooms. And then I'm called up, and this guy's like, "Okay, so we're gonna take photos of your face and like basically 3D scan my head to see to discover the shape of my face, so they can figure out what glasses look best on my face."
What?
Yeah, and then like the guy was like, "Oh, do you have any hobbies?" Because they've got to like write down what you do and whatnot. Because name, address, just to confirm, and like any hobbies. I was like, well, like miniature painting, I like video games, I like art. Basically sat there for 20 minutes reeling off everything I fucking do. And he was like, and the guy, he was such a sweetheart. He was like just 18. He was like, "Oh, what games do you play?" I was like, "Oh, a good few, but right now I'm really enjoying Overwatch and Vermintide 2. And the guy was like, "Oh, I love Overwatch. It's so good." I'm like, "Really? Who's your main?" And he was like, "Well, I don't have a main. I always play Soldier on attack, and I always play Zarya on defense." And he's like, "I love Zarya so much." And I was like, "Oh, me too! Oh my god!" And we started gushing, and he was like, "Well, who do you main?" I was like, "Well, I'm not really a mainer either." And we start talking about the Retribution update, to the point where I'm pretty sure that font would have taken about a minute to complete. We were there for like 5 minutes just shooting shit about Overwatch. And so I go sit down, and then I get up and I go and I get my get my thorough eye test done, where they kind of show you like, "Oh, this is lens number 2, lens number 3, that kind of thing."
Yeah.
And the guy sits me down, he's looking at the thing and goes, "So it says here you like video games. You like Fortnite?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, me neither." I was like, "I don't really like Battle Royale games." We were talking about that, and he's like, "What games do you like?" He started talking about Overwatch and Vermintide 2, and it came up about streaming, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, no, I've streamed some Overwatch in the past." He's like, "You don't stream Fortnite though?" And I'm like, "No." He was like, "Yeah, some people go nuts with that." Because I was complaining that I don't like Battle Royale games because you spend 20 minutes looking for someone and they get shot and killed by someone you've never seen. And he was like, "Yeah, and I'm watching people on Twitch and all this kind of stuff." While doing my eye test. And he was like, "Oh yeah, so just need to wear glasses when you're on your computer, which is like playing games, which is maybe 1, 2, 3 hours, 4, that kind of like the whole gamer in joke of like, haha, we're not supposed to play video games for more than an hour without taking a 10 or 15 minute sanctioned rest. Haha, no one does that." He's like, he couldn't medically tell me not to do that, but but yeah. So then I go sit down, and then there's another lovely gentleman that comes and gets me and to basically talk over my glasses choice and my style that I want. And, he's like, "So, you like video games?" Right. And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he asked me which ones. I said, "Overwatch, Vermintide 2. He's like, "Do you like Fortnite?" I'm like, "No, I fucking don't." In a way more polite way. And he's showing me around like, "Oh yeah, try on these. Like, you got a wider bridge, so 15 won't fit you, but 17 will." So like, what do you do? Like, so because I mentioned like, "Oh yeah, like I only need to wear these for like when I'm on the computer, which is like all the time with work and video games." So he's like, "Oh, okay, like that sounds interesting." I'm like, "Yeah," because I kind of hint at the fact that video games has something to do with my occupation. And he's like, "Dang, what job do you do? Sign me up." And I'm like, "Oh shit, it's happened. It's finally happened. Someone's asked me about my fucking, so I'm gonna have to tell them I'm a fucking YouTuber." And I was like, "Well, I do videos online." And I do review. He was like, "Oh, you're a YouTuber, aren't you?" And I'm like, "Yes." And I wish I hadn't answered that, because I was like, "Yeah, it's not a fun term though." You know, older generations don't seem to get it, do they? He's like, "Oh, Sodom! I love watching YouTube videos. They're great fun." So like, you don't do any videos on Fortnite. Like, no. And then, get my glass, this style of frame sorted. I go sit down. After a little while, another guy comes up who's basically there to just finalise my fitting for my glasses and kind of like measure my where the glasses sit on my face. It's a weird thing. They kind of put a little clamp on the top of your glasses as you're wearing them and take a photo of you. I don't know. Yeah, why they do that.
It shows like where the centre of your eyes are in comparison to the lenses, so that if they can figure out where the focal point of those need to be. Yeah.
So I go up and the guy's like, he sits down and he's like, oh, he's very nice. He's got a lanyard on that's got the Star Wars lanyard, and on that lanyard he has a "For the Horde" button. And I'm like, right, okay. And this guy goes, he goes, "You're the YouTuber." And I'm like, oh fuck. It was so embarrassing. Like, I'm not even going, oh, it was so embarrassing. It's like, no, it really fucking was. Because I was like, oh god, I hope no one heard that. Because you don't describe yourself as a YouTuber. It's just, to me, it sounds really creepy and lame.
I prefer the term content creator.
It's a bit foofy, but more people understand it.
And when you say content creator, they assume you're not... Well, they don't go, oh, you're... When you say content creator, people are less likely to assume that you might be one of those YouTubers.
Yeah.
Those ones.
Those YouTubers that give us all a bad name. Yeah. So yeah, he was like talking about like I don't think he actually. Oh, that was it. He did ask me about Fortnite. He was like, "You're not into Fortnite, are you?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Oh, thank God, everyone around here plays Fortnite." And I'm just like, because he was like the oldest guy I spoke to, and I was just like, I have never wanted to hug an Optician's employee so hard. Like, thank you for accepting the fact that I don't like Fortnite, because it's kind of, it's the in game right now. But yeah, he was talking about how he's just had a kid, and he was like, "So I noticed on your thing that you like painting miniatures." And I'm like, "Yes, I do." I'm like, finally, something that isn't fucking Fortnite, and doesn't. Hi, I'm a YouTuber. Because he was like, "Yeah, you don't make videos about Fortnite, do you?" I was like, "No, I make videos about all sorts of different games. We get a different game every week. Occasionally we do stuff about 40k." And he was like, yeah, mood. Yeah, talking to this guy about, he's like, oh, apparently he had a big Grey Knights army. He also had lizardmen in fantasy as well. And he's just had a kid, and he was like, I had to sell so much, and I just can't afford it anymore. And there's just so much time, so all I do is sit there and play Star Trek Online, and I'm like, dude, nice. That's completely awesome. And just like talking about 40k and shit, and he's like, the game cafe we go to?
Yeah.
He knows the owner.
Oh, okay.
He also knows some guy in Birmingham who's basically done the same thing, and I'm just like, bruh, yes.
So apparently, the hive of video game / 40k player activity is around our local opticians.
Yeah, we just need to go hang out there for a little while. It's fun. Everyone I spoke to was so awesome, though.
So I want to go make some new friends. Where do you go? Opticians. Obviously, it's where all of our brethren live. Apparently.
Yeah, it's because what you do is you go in, you put your glasses on, and go, I can see a beautiful friendship blossoming. I can see it. With my eyes.
I can see it now. Thank you for my prescription.
Thank you. Yes. So yeah, that was a really weird pocket dimension I slipped into when I went to get some glasses.
It's one of those stories that a certain kind of person will just turn around and go, "That didn't happen."
It's like, no, that's why I'm telling it, because it did happen and it was so fucking weird. But I mean, that was just so strange. And then I went and had a Subway sandwich. That's the part I'm lying about. It's not. I did actually go, and it was really tasty.
We're quite liking Subway right now.
Yeah, it's better than Burger King. Well, it's not. It's better for me than Burger King, is what I'm saying.
Moderately.
Well, you say that, but a 6-inch sub is 300 calories, and a meal from Burger King is about 1,500.
True. True.
So I'm going to say it's better for me.
Probably. You did mention the board game cafe. We did go there again.
We went to the board game cafe and we played a new game.
We played something that wasn't related to Games Workshop, shockingly.
Whoa.
The guy, because we went in and the guy was like, because the guys there are so nice. Like, if you just go in and look even remotely lost, they'll come over and be like, "Hey, bud, can I help?" And you're like, "Please, I have social anxiety." And they're like, "That's fine, we all do. So, there's two of you. Why don't you play this game? It's fun." So, yeah, got recommended Odin's Ravens, which is like a tile-based race game.
Yeah, you put down cards that have different bits of terrain on them, and you put down 16 of them is like the standard, and you have to go all the way to the end of it and then all the way back, and how you advance is by having the type of terrain card in your hand that would get you through that, or you can spend 2 of any to get across it.
Yeah, to move one space.
And there's various low-key cards that allow you to fuck with your opponent or aid yourself.
Yeah, so what happens is the card is split down the middle, and you each start on a different, basically left or right side.
You're either the white or the black raven.
I had to play the black raven because I'm a massive goth.
The little wooden pieces is quite fun.
They're super cute. So yeah, what you've got to do is go all the way up the left side to the end, and then you go down and loop around on the other side. So if you make something easier with a Loki card in front of you, so say there's two forest cards and in the middle there's a mountain card, you can swap around the middle one if the mountain card has a forest thing on the other side, so there'll be 3 forest cards, which means that if you have 1 forest card in your hand, you can skip over all 3.
Ah, cool, okay.
So yeah, it's like, as long as it's not interrupted, you can keep going. And you can do that, but then the person who's coming round is going to make them easier for them.
Okay.
Because you all tread the same ground.
What we very quickly settled into was, we basically, once we'd passed a certain point, we'd just start putting traps behind us so it wouldn't interfere with us, but it would interfere with the person coming round the second time.
Exactly. But yeah, that was it's quite a simple game, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, after the first go at it,
I won the first round. It was amazing, because I managed to have 1 for every environment card in my hand.
So you just did the last 5 things in one go.
Yeah, so you can play any amount of cards you want during your turn, but the maximum hand size is 7. So I put down a Loki card to make me move forward, and then I was like, snow, forest, rocks, desert, snow, win.
Yeah.
And then you were like, wait, no, you can't do that. I was like, oh shit, you're right. So then I put down 1 more Loki card and then did the exact same fucking thing.
Yes.
Then you beat me handedly the next 2 times.
But it was fun. It was fun.
It was a hell of a lot of fun.
Once you got used to it, then it was the sort of thing where it takes you 5-10 minutes to play a full game of it. Once you kind of used to it, it's fairly basic, but it is a lot of fun.
It is very fun.
I have no idea how much it costs, and knowing little board games,
to be fair,
card games,
it'll probably cost either 20 quid or 60, because board games don't really have a middle ground price.
Yeah, they're getting expensive at the moment as well, because they're getting more popular.
They're the in thing right now.
They're definitely going up in price.
That's why I'm eternally grateful to gaming cafes for just being able to go in and just sample as many as we want.
Yeah, so if you do get a chance to have a go at it, can definitely recommend it, especially for you, Max. I know that you're very much into your board games.
Yeah, I have a list when it's onto me. But
yeah, you. Not to give spoilers, but you've played an outrageous amount of board games in the 2 weeks you were over here, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we took you to the gaming cafe and played some Space Crusade with you, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we mentioned that on the last podcast, yeah.
We also played some Space Hulk.
We also played some Space
Hulk.
Hulk. We played Mission 2, which was fucking crazy.
It was Space Crusade that we played, right?
Yeah.
Space
Hulk is basically strictly 2-player.
Okay.
And
it's where you're playing as Terminators going around the corridors and then Gene Stealers pop out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mission 2 was fucking massive.
We had to, the tables in there extend, and we had to use both the extensions.
Yeah, right.
And then we had to put it a bit diagonally because it was so fucking huge. And the guy who owns the thing turned around and was like, because the starting parameters are, I put down one of my guys in a room, then Wib would put one down wherever he wants, and I had to be within 6 squares of 2 spawn points to win, or kill all the Gene Stealers, which didn't go very well. And the guy, I went and got a coffee, and the guy was like, "What'd you start all the way over there for?" I was like, "Mission 2." that's how we got to start. He was like, really? Good luck. I was like, yeah, no, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was fucked. But I did roll an inordinate amount of 6s for the first half of the game.
Yeah, so you killed basically everything that came near you for the first half, but then after that you rolled really poorly, and I was just able to completely overwhelm you with many gene stealers.
Too many flanking positions, especially in Space Hulk. It costs an action point to turn 90 degrees. So I held up in like a corner where I could see two corridors either way. And like, because Gene Stealers can run basically 6 regardless, and my guys, they have like 6 action points, and my guys have 4. So yeah, like I couldn't turn around enough. I mean, like my assault cannon guy was the best.
Oh, he did great until he ran out of ammo.
Yeah, I ran out of ammo, and it was just like, I ain't got shit. My HQ choice got fucking pimp smacked immediately.
Yeah,
because they've got the commander unit behind the bar. So like the first time I played, they came over and was like, you'll want this guy, and like I was like, okay, thank you. And then I went up and asked for him, and they were like, we don't know where he is. Have this chaos fucking... Like, oh god, what was he?
I think it was, officially, I think the way it was modelled, although I might be wrong, was a Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armour.
Yeah, it's like, here, have this guy. And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? That's fluffy.
Which is a beautiful model. It's
very nice
not
model.
quite a Blood Angel Terminator captain with a storm shield and thunder hammer, but
not quite.
It's still a very cool model.
But it was still really cool, and he got taken out of the game immediately to the point where it was embarrassing to take him back to the fucking bar. They were like, "Oh, you're done already?" I'm like, "Yes." Shut up. God, he was the first one to go, and that took a while, but I lost pretty bad. It was a tough one.
But still, it was fun. I do like Space Hulk. It's just a pity that to pick up the modern version, which has the really, really nice Terminator models in it, is so expensive. It was a very limited run. One of the things I most regret...
It was a Nintendo-shaped run. Like, let's just put out 10 of them, even though loads and loads and loads and loads of people want it. Yeah, fuck them all.
Yeah,
Put out limited because we don't care. It's like, I just want the... Fuck you.
I always regret not picking up the 90s version of it, because I remember seeing it in a Games Workshop for 30 quid, which even at the time, that was still dirt cheap just for the amount of Terminators and Gene Stealers you got for it.
Next time, if there's something like that happens, we're just going to fucking buy it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
To be fair, even if we don't end up playing it, then... we can always sell it later on down the line. Oh, that's kind of shitty.
I don't know.
But still, you don't want to regret not getting. I mean, to be fair, people have had real trouble getting hold of Greg's.
Oh, Greg.
The Eisenhorn model.
We were
that we've
very
got.
lucky with that because, the majority of them were reserved. We didn't even think to do that.
Yeah, so we did pretty well to get that, and I think on the website
the advantages of just being able to pop down to Warhammer World.
Yep.
Yeah, well, apparently they do. That is like the one place you can still pick up Greg's is at Warhammer World.
It's got a Greg's down the road, honestly.
Not even.
Yeah, let's not do the Greg's joke again. We did that enough in the video.
It's a knee slapper, that one. Everyone loves my Greg jokes. Comment about how much you love my jokes about Greg's.
But anyway, we should probably move on from the Board Game Cafe things.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of board, I can't even say. Well, speaking of board games, Drummer Butt, what have you been up to? Probably board games, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with board games. So, as whoever watched the live MisanthroPod know, I was in the UK for a couple of weeks, which was nice enough that it coincided with the 50th episode.
I was very lucky.
Because you were like, I really want to do it live, but I just can't work out how to do it streaming from 2 different places. I was like, well, I mean, if it's meant to be this weekend, which would be the weekend of the 50th, I am in the UK with no plans that day. And you were like, oh.
I guess that solves our problems. I guess.
So the week, I think I mentioned the week before, because the live podcast recording was the middle weekend. The week before, I played a couple of games, and I was like, this is pretty good, get a chance to do a couple, which we spoke, the Firefly one and the Circus one that I still don't know what it's called, that I mentioned last time. Yeah, in the 5 days, or the 5 weekdays after the podcast recording, I went to play board games on 4 of the 5 days.
Not many then.
It was pretty excellent because I was always like free in the daytime, and I was seeing various people, but most people were free in the evening, and I was like, no, it's daytime, and someone was like, oh, we're going to this board game thing. I was like, oh, tag along, and then So I won't dwell too much on going into details on any particular one, but I will just run down some of the highlights and just vaguely what they're about, in case people are a bit interested.
This is going to be the board game episode of the MisanthroPod, isn't it?
Slightly.
Do a board game / Optician.
So first up, we played, I think it's called Wasteland Express delivery service.
Okay.
So it's like a...
Mad Max pizza delivery.
In essence, yeah.
Oh.
Good.
Kind of.
The Postman.
Like, it's set in a sort of, not Mad Max, but sort of probably is Mad Max world. Like, the board isn't like a board, it's like a load of sort of... There's a load of tiles that are probably about as big as, if you put your hands together to make a circle. That sort of...
Yeah.
There's like 12 of them or 15 of them, I can't remember, I don't know. So that's sort of randomised at the start of the game, but it is all down, so you can see the whole map. But it is different each time you play it. And then at the centre of each one of these sort of tiles, there's like a place where you can buy stuff or sell stuff or get upgrades and things. And basically, you can there's ammo, food and water that you can basically go buy somewhere on the board and then deliver to somewhere else. So that's quite a bit of it. And it's got quite a cool, basically the more demand there is, each place will be randomly selling or buying. And the more places buying a particular good makes the demand higher, so the price goes up. So the prices are constantly changing, so you can go and buy things for cheap and sell them expensive. And then also there's a load of weapons that you can buy, and some of the objectives are go and kill these big sort of gangs and big, powerful Mad Max dudes. And I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
A lot of people went down the route of killing the things. I was some trucker, and you had because you each get a character to play as. And my dude had a negative to weapon rolls. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play as trucker and not be a fighter. And I'm going to see if I can get anywhere near winning without doing any combat and just being like a Mad Max trucker.
How'd that go?
I was very close, actually. I got right to the end. I managed to do... Because there's 3 main objectives out, but you can do sub-objectives, which count towards one of the 3. If you get the right cards, and it almost worked out, and I almost did it, apart from I had to make 2 more delivery ones, which should be easy, but just the way that, because it was randomised, I either needed to buy something and sell it somewhere else, or buy, I think it was either food or water, and basically the map setup was everywhere was buying food, but nowhere was selling it, and everywhere was selling water, but no one was buying it. So I was just I just need to make 2 really easy deliveries to win the game, but there's just the board just ran out for me.
The board fucked you.
Yeah. But I only played it once and we probably did everything wrong, but I recommend that one. It's a big box, I don't know how much it cost. But
probably at least £1 billion.
But the joys of having a tagging along to a board game club is that everyone has all the games.
Yeah. So what other ones did you play?
We played, so then that took up a whole night for one of the nights. Next day we played a game called Whistlestop, which is train based, so you might like it, Webb.
I'm down for train-based games.
You guys are so painfully English.
You all start on one side of the board, and then you all got some cards in your hand, some tiles in your hand, and as you sort of move across the board, you basically need to get to the other side. And you sort of, as you go and get to the end of a track, you put down a tile from your hand to carry on the track, and you sort of extend it along. And along the way,
So it's basically like that scene from Wallace and Gromit, where Gromit's going along, putting the track down as the train's going along.
Old,
pretty much,
Buster Keaton sketch or something.
I don't know. I know it from Wallace and Gromit.
It's like an old black and white, silent film era joke, I thought.
I guess I'm trying to think of a review system I can use for this. So Wasteland Express, I would look out to go and play it again. I would definitely want to play it again. Whistlestop, so the train one, it was good, and I'd definitely play it again if someone else had it, but I wouldn't go out my way to get it again.
Yeah.
So entertaining, but you wouldn't, if you never played it again, you'd be okay with that.
Well, no, I'd like to play it again at some point, but I wouldn't, I'm not tempted to buy it anytime soon.
Okay. So fun to play, wouldn't buy.
After that we played Azul, which is it's a...
Azumu?
Azul, A-Z-U-L.
Oh, Azul, okay.
Yeah. And it's basically, you get these little ceramic patterns, and they're little tile things, but they look like tasty churrets. They're the size and shape of a churret or a starburst or a international
that's
equivalent.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, I wanted to eat them, and they've got...
Now I want to eat a bunch of starburst.
And it's just you grab them from the centre and have to tile them and then match them to your board and pattern match, and... It's a very quick one, but that was really good fun.
Is that one that is that a buy or a you would just play it?
Buy it or leave it.
Similar to Whistlestop. I would definitely play it again and maybe buy it in the future, but Wasteland Express, I really want to go somewhere with it soon to play it again.
Yeah.
Next up, we played Heroes of Normandy, which is, as you can probably guess, a World War II based.
I had an inkling.
Yeah. I think it's mostly 2-player game, although I think you can play it similar to 40k is more a 2-player thing, but you can then just have 2 people on a side and do it as 4 people or whatever. And but it's it's not a miniatures game because you don't measure distances. It's based on a grid. And you don't have miniatures, you've got little cards to show all your units. But it is sort of you have a set number of points and you can buy different units, like infantry units or jeeps or tanks and things. And then each one's got a certain movement, a certain shooting ability. And then, we played a mission, so all the missions, you can just fight each other and see who wins, much like 40k. But there's also scenarios you can do. And this scenario we had to do was I had to go and rescue some random dog. So it was called Saving Private Rex or something. The thing was called.
Good.
Basically, it didn't matter if all of my dudes died as long as one of them survived and carried the dog off the board.
To be fair, that's if I was a military leader, what orders would I give?
Save
that dog.
So it was a weird one because on your turn, you could. So you had 5 or 6 units. You could only activate 3 of them on a turn, and you had a little tiles that said 1, 2, and 3 on it, and a tile that had a blank on it, and you put those 4 tiles on some units, so the other person could see who was going to be activated, or probably who was going to be activated, but you had a blank one to sort of dummy it a bit.
Okay.
And then you revealed which ones were going to be activated and did them. But an activation was you could either move or shoot, and it took most of the game to get, because usually you go, okay, this guy's going to run forward here and then shoot that guy.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do that because if you moved, you couldn't shoot.
It's playing a game, but everything is a devastator.
It just took so long. It just took the whole game to get my head around. Tactically, we were terrible because it was okay, he'll be able to shoot from here. Oh wait, no, he has to move first, and then he can't. But if you tried to move them into position, they'd get shot at. So it was what? So it has potential, and I think if you got used to it, it'd be good. But it was a bit weird.
It sounds like you actively knowing anything about tabletop war games has kind of fucked you in that regard, because you were well, I should be able to move and then shoot, maybe at a disadvantage, and if I use 2 movements and maybe dash, then I can't shoot at all. Or
it's like when you play a game that is ostensibly like something else, your experience with the other thing is often more of a hindrance than anything else.
It's like playing Guitar Hero when you can play guitar.
Yes, it's actually a good example. Yeah.
So it has potential, but and I'd play it again if someone else wanted to, but I wasn't that bothered, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
And last one, I played Gaslands, which you guessed, Wib, because I said I've been playing a game that we played with Hot Wheels cars, and you were like, "Oh, you've been playing Gaslands." I was like, "Actually, yes. How do you know that?"
He has approximate knowledge of many things.
Because I've been really interested in giving Gaslands a shot, because I've been seeing it on my Twitter feed coming up, people painting and modelling Hot Wheels cars for it.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the rule book and it's quite expensive, but I kind of want to give it a shot.
So for those who don't know, Gaslands is it's done by some game company, which seemingly is just one dude. Not entirely sure. I can't remember what the company's even called, to be honest.
I got the impression from looking at the website it's some dude in his shed.
Pretty much. And he's done various other games, but he just sells, or they sell, I should say, there's the company. They sell rulebooks, but they don't sell miniatures or pieces or box set or anything. They mostly sell the rulebook. And they've done it with various other things, but then this Gaslands one, which is it's another Mad Maxy similar sort of thing with cars, and it's like a death race type thing. So you buy the rulebook, and then you buy Hot Wheels cars and mod them yourself.
I need an excuse.
Paint them yourself and glue guns to them and things.
Can I glue gun a glue gun to my Gaslands vehicle?
Why would you want to do that?
Why wouldn't I want to do that? Because then I can fuck up other people's cars.
As
per the rules.
Well, then you're getting into Iron Man 40k mode, where you have to hit the model with a hammer when it gets destroyed.
Wow.
Iron Man 40k is something that someone's come up with just to make you wince.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's horrible.
Yeah, that's the worst. But Gaslands was good. We played 2 games. First one was a bit like a battle royale thing where you just had to be the last one standing. in which 3 of us rode to the centre and ran into each other and blew up, and then the guy who didn't get there quite in time won by default because everyone else blew each other up. So that was over in about 2 turns. It was quite good fun. We were just using some of the guys who played it before had made a bunch of cars, so I just picked from them rather than, because I don't want to have to spec out my own car because I have no idea what I'm doing. And mine had an exploding ram on the front, so my whole I didn't really have any guns. So my whole thing was just to drive into someone and explode, and I actually exploded before I drove into someone because I was highly explosive, and I managed to... on your turn, you can drive forward and you have to shift gears, and then depending on what gear you're in is how fast and how manoeuvrable you are, but if you're in a higher gear, you get more turns, and it's really cool. It's not quite like anything... the mechanics of it aren't like anything else I played, which doesn't happen that often. Usually, we played the Firefly game, was it's sort of like Space Crusade in that it's grid based and you can move and then shoot and you've got action points and blah blah blah. It wasn't like anything I played before, so it was interesting. I have noticed it is on. There is because we were talking afterwards, Wib, and you said you'd be interested. And on Tabletop Simulator, someone has done a Gaslands mod or add-on or whatever they're called on Tabletop Simulator.
That may be a thing that I think that we should do at some point.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so that one's a double thumbs up. The second one we did was an actual race, and I think we made the mistake of doing 2 cars each. So it meant that, and there was 4 of us, so there was 8 cars, and because we didn't quite know what we were doing, it just took a long time. And on the races, there's the start line, and then there's 4 gates. Well, gate 1, 2, and 3, and then you had to pass the start line the other way to finish. And we were there for 2.5 hours, and some of us had got through the first gate and some of us hadn't. Just because, every time you do anything it escalates, and you ram into this person who then bounces off into someone else, and it's good, but it just takes a while when you don't quite know what you're doing.
Yeah, I guess that's the problem with some of those sort of games where some of the playing a game of 40k afresh or something very similar to it is okay because you've got all of this inbuilt knowledge of how the base mechanics are going to work of those sort of games. But yeah, when you're playing something that is completely new. Fresh and completely new, you've got to learn everything. Yeah. And especially even if it's taking that long with a group of people that play board games all the time, so they're going to be the best people to try and absorb rules. If it's taking them a while, that there's... Yeah. It's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. But I'd recommend, and it's interesting, the community around it's quite cool. Like I said, I think the guy who sells books does also sell templates and dice, but they seem to be just 3D printed or laser cut out of plastic or something.
Yeah.
And a load of other people have started making dice and templates and making mods for the cars. You can get cast guns and various things that people are doing, and they're just listed on his website. You can contact him and he'll just list you on the website for the thing. So if you,
nice.
So it's it just seems like quite a nice community around it.
I will say one of my favourite things I've seen so far in relation to Gaslands is someone who made a little gang out of Hot Wheels Oscar Mayer Wiener vehicles.
Nice. Please tell me they had a good name.
I can't remember the name, but they strapped a bunch of
Hot Doggers.
They strapped a bunch of Dark Eldar parts to them, which doesn't sound like it should work, but it kind of did.
That's pretty rad.
So yeah, I'm going to...
Well, it's just going to be spiky things and dildos, isn't it? So.
At some point, I will, even if I don't ever bother to play the game, I am tempted to just buy a Hot Wheels car just for the sake of a modelling challenge to make a little Gaslands car.
You know how every time we walk past a craft store I go, ooh, I want a glue gun, and you go, what are you going to use a glue gun for? That's what I could use a glue gun for.
But I'll just use super glue. It's better for those things because a glue gun would make a lot of excess glue.
I just want a glue gun, Matt. Please just let me have a glue gun. A glue gun.
You can have a glue gun when you have a legitimate use for one.
I have legitimate uses for a glue gun.
Okay, name one use
Gluing
for
things to things.
Yeah.
Okay, what thing would you glue to a thing?
Okay,
Because
no,
there's many things
moving
I don't...
the goalposts now.
No, because I don't...
I gave you a reason.
No.
I gave you a reason.
Yeah, but it has to be a specific reason. Just gluing things is like saying, oh, why do I need a hammer to hammer things? Okay,
to
sure.
play Iron Man 40k.
See, now that would be a reason.
Okay, I need it for play Iron Man 40k.
But you're not playing Iron Man 40k.
Well, no, because I don't have a fucking glue gun.
But it wouldn't even be that good for doing Iron Man 40k.
Yeah, but it would send a message.
Look, when you come up with a good reason...
Okay, literally, first of all, come up with a reason. I gave you a reason.
No.
Not that reason. Give me a good... What do you define as a good reason?
A specific reason that you actually need it for.
Okay, I'm a 40k.
That's not...
That's what I need a glue gun for.
But you're not going to use it for that.
I might do.
You're not going to because you're too protective over your models and you're not coming near mine. So I know that's a bullshit reason.
Okay, this is the thing.
We're very sorry, everyone.
No, I'm not.
I feel like you should play some elevator music in the background while this is happening.
No, this is half the podcast anyway. I want a glue gun, Matt.
So anyway, moving on.
Yeah, right. How let's talk about how many, how useful it is to have a glue gun about the house. Matt, thoughts?
I'm not even wading into this. Not a chance.
Okay, fine.
But Gaslands, double thumbs up. Yeah, would play again. You can't buy the rule book because it's sold out, and I don't know when it's printing again. But I think you can buy the PDF actually. I don't know how much that costs.
Yeah, but you want a proper book if you're going to be flipping through it at the table or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know how much Hot Wheels cars are. I assume they're less than...
they're like Legos.
I assume they're less than like 40k models.
Slightly.
I can say, and this is not because I've been eyeing them up to do a modification on, it depends where you get them from, but you can buy those cars from anywhere between £1 to like £3.
Okay.
Depending on how fancy they are.
Yeah.
It's a bit fucking much. Fuck it. I'm just going to get a Predator. That will be my vehicle.
It is
Gaslands.
a Space Marine Predator tank is vastly the wrong scale.
Okay, then I'll hammer it down and glue gun it together again, so it's the right scale.
You're just having fun saying glue gun as glue gun, and that's the only reason you're repeatedly saying it, isn't it?
Shut up.
Matt, have you got anything else to talk about, please?
I do. Quick one on TV series. As we watched, Netflix has been pestering me about Altered Carbon.
That's in my watch list, yeah.
I've had it recommended to me.
Yeah, we watched the first episode, and like the premise is quite cool, but I was just like, spent the whole thing watching it thinking, I'm just a bit bored. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. It's not bad, and I couldn't tell you why. I just watched it, and I was like, this should be interesting, but it's just not doing it for me. And I don't know if it's the mood we're in. I think we'll give the second episode a chance and see.
Yeah, I mean, I do think to get a good gauge on a series, just watching the first episode, because that's often sometimes kind of molded in with the pilot, and the pilot a lot of the time that can just be shit. What does the production company want? Let's do that.
I think the big problem with sci-fi pilots is that they have to establish an entire world in the first episode as well, which I think is the biggest problem.
So if anyone wants to drop an email to the email and saying that if I should carry on with it, if anyone's watched it, that would be nice, because I'll probably get round to watching the second episode at some point, but my thoughts after the first one were just indifference, to be honest.
Fair enough, dude.
So I thought I'd mention it in passing. Video games, Fallout is still ticking along. I mean, I wasn't able to play it in the UK because I didn't bring my gaming PC with me on the plane.
Yeah, nerd.
Yeah. I played it a bit more. Yeah, I feel like story mode is being progressed. Again, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah. Also, while I was away, and I've been looking forward to playing it because I bought it on Steam sale while I was away, but couldn't play it because I asked if I could play it on a trackpad on a laptop without a mouse, and you were like, "Yeah, probably don't." And I was like, "But I don't think it's like particularly hardcore." But I would wait anyway. Slime Rancher.
Slime Rancher is a very good video game.
Cutie game.
Didn't I name Slime Rancher as my favourite game of 2017?
Probably.
I think I did.
Did he speak about it on the podcast?
I have, yes.
Yeah, okay.
But
you also
feel
streamed
free.
it for approximately 47 years.
There is a video of me streaming it, which devolved into just talking about sci-fi with Long Fang for like 45 minutes. But
yep.
But no, feel free to put forth your own opinions and observations.
It's one of those games that you play and then you don't realise that your day is gone.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, I'll just do this, and then I haven't done anything, but the date, why is it evening now?
Isn't it the most adorable goddamn thing on the planet as well?
It is adorable. It is very adorable. I'm not quite sure.
Are you angry you can't play it right now?
I said when you first rang up, and I was like, you said, how are you? I was like, well, I'm a bit annoyed if I had to stop playing Slime Rancher to record a podcast. Because I could probably be playing it right now. Like, it's not that taxing. So I could probably be playing it in the background.
Okay, no, don't.
I'm not going to, I'm professional. But
you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I am. I'm not sure where it's going. Like, it's good, and I'm enjoying it, and it's adorable. And it takes time away very quickly, so it must be enjoyable. But I'm not really sure what the point is yet.
Have you started encountering the little snippets of story?
I don't know. I guess not.
There's the little pods that are left around, and you start hearing about and you start finding out more and more about the person that had the farm before you, and B, about...
Yeah, I've seen a few of his signs.
Yeah, and about your previous life from the emails you get sent.
Yeah. Yes, I've had
Between those two, it does kind of culminate to a really quite nice ending. It's not like... there is an actual ending where the credits roll.
Where the ranchers have all been slimed.
Where you have slimed every ranch.
Well.
And it's quite a nice little satisfying little close to a loop, and it's just kind of nice. That's kind of Slime Rancher all over.
How long-ish did you play for it? When that
I can't remember how long it took me to get to that point.
I'm about 10 hours in at the moment.
I played the game for about 40 hours, I think, before I was like, yeah, I've seen everything.
Okay.
And I'd probably seen everything, multiple times over, but I was still enjoying it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And that's about how long I played it for,
I think. I think I've got to, there's 4 main areas on the main island, which I've got into. But I haven't found the map for the third bit yet.
Yeah.
And then there's another area on the map that's separate, so I'm not sure what that is. So there's a few bits. And I've got a key lying around, but I don't know a door for it. So there's presumably another door somewhere.
You get to a certain point, and then you have to gather a bunch of stuff to open to an area that is a little unusual, which then gives you access to another area that's even more unusual.
Okay.
So,
I think I might know what you mean.
Being as vague as possible to not give spoilers.
Yeah, I think I might know what you mean, but we'll see. But yeah, enjoying it. Kind of wish I was playing it right now.
Well, we're not long for finishing.
So to that end, that's me done. Move on. Finished. See you later, guys.
No, get back here. No.
I guess I should probably fill people in on what I've been doing.
Yes, Webb, what have you been up to?
Short answer is not that much, because I've mostly been playing between the sort of time, the last thing, Vermintide 2 and Overwatch Retribution mode a lot.
Put in a normal PvE mode.
Well, yeah.
We're fucking sick of other people.
Stop the clapping.
No, it's for emphasis.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't emphasize.
Blizzard, fucking get your shit in order.
But what I have done is I've played a little bit of XCOM, because we did that as a video.
I haven't seen that video yet. Usually I'm quite good and I'll have seen your video before we record this.
Isn't it weird how there was that one guy in your squad called Matt Ward who looked like you? Wow, what a coincidence.
Yeah, a handful of people, and I guess they're new people who don't know that my name is Matt Ward, were thinking that either it was like a really weird coincidence that the random British person I selected to be me
in the game where you can edit so much about your soldiers,
that it was a coincidence that his name was Matt Ward, and obviously there's the ex-40k writer Matt Ward. But people were thinking that was a weird coincidence, or we'd named him as a joke, and
that's his name.
It's like, no, my name actually is Matt Ward. I'm not that Matt Ward, but we do have the same name.
Do you remember when people would send you death threats?
Yeah.
Yeah, also, like, I don't know, like, there's no one listening to this who needs to be told this, but don't fucking send death threats. It makes you a disgusting fucking human being.
I've mentioned this on multiple occasions, but I have a lot of sympathy for Matt Ward because, I have my problems with his writing, but...
The thing is, like, who the fuck knows him as a person? It's like,
we know people who know him as a person.
Yeah.
Apparently he's a nice guy.
Well, even then, it's like, regardless. It's like, we might not like his work. I mean, his work wasn't like Stephanie fucking Meyer's, and even then, if you're wishing death on Stephanie Meyer... She's just a fucking lonely old weirdo who just wrote a bunch of fan fiction about her, like a self-insert in some sexy vampire boy. Fucking millions of people do it.
Yeah.
Get angry at the fact that was elevated above all else. Don't get angry at the fucking person doing it.
Yeah.
And that fucking...
Yeah, no, and I have a lot of sympathy for Matt Ward because I received some of the hate that was supposed to be aimed at him, and I was like, wow, yeah, this is completely out of... like scale, but anyway, people were getting a bit confused by that, which was kind of funny. But yeah, XCOM itself, I can totally see why people really like it. I haven't played enough of it to sort of really decide how I feel about it because it's quite a game with a bit of depth to it, and I don't fully understand what's happening in all of it yet.
Well, there's aliens, and they're being naughty all over the world. And you've got to go and stop them from being naughty.
What I actually put up a thing on Twitter just before we started recording this, where I asked, because we do have XCOM 2, so I was wondering if in sort of my off time, not for like recording it or anything, is it worthwhile me carrying on playing XCOM 1, or should I just go straight into XCOM 2?
Yeah, that is a very good... Let me know what they say, because...
I would say that people are probably just going to go straight into XCOM 2.
Currently that was winning, but not by much.
Okay.
Why don't you just play the Bureau, you fucking coward?
That was the third option, as a joke.
As a joke.
But I did...
so which one? There's enemy... Hang on. There's
Enemy Unknown, which is the base first game. Well, I say first game, obviously they did the old games back in the day, but of the new ones. Then there was Enemy Within, that I think was the big expansion for the first one.
Yeah.
Which wasn't that the one that made it basically like a different game?
Possibly, I don't know much about it.
It added in a bunch of extra stuff, but...
Yeah, and then there was XCOM 2, which I think has had a few expansions.
Judgment Day.
The latest one, which I can't remember the name of, is apparently like an expansion that is so big that it's basically just a new game that you happen to need the first game for. It also costs about 30 quid. So it's quite an expensive expansion, but it's apparently worth it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what people say, because I know canonically... in XCOM 2, they basically say, oh yeah, by the way, you lost.
Yeah.
XCOM 1, you lost. The world got taken over. It's like a Half-Life 1 and 2 situation.
Oh no.
So canonically, if I just give up on XCOM 1 and go into XCOM 2, it completely works. But I don't know. So I'll see what people say, because obviously I know it's the sort of game which you can put a lot of hours into, and I sort of just want to play the better one of them. So if I can just go into XCOM 2, I will. Also because you can download loads and loads of mods for it, so that sounds like fun.
Yeah, you can get like a bunch of big boss gear, and there's probably 40k stuff. I mean,
not as much as you
Warhammer
think.
40,000 is that kind of up and coming miniature war game that everyone seems interested in.
I think that's the one where there's the mods where you can have huge naked burly men.
Nice.
Yeah, play XCOM 2. I love the Barra Beefcake mod.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I've forgotten about that. He's got a bunch of oiled up Chris Redfields wandering around.
Yeah, it's slightly terrifying. So yeah, I guess I'll report back and say what was the decision I eventually came to, and we'll have then played some more XCOM.
Nice.
The only other thing I have to actually talk about is that I mentioned a little while ago that I've been reading through the Black Library Celebration book that we got when we bought our Greg. Because I've been, doing the whole read a book, at least one book a month thing, and it's taken me quite a while. Not because of the book being like long or difficult, just things have come up, so I haven't read as much this month. But I've got through the first 4 of the 6 stories in it. Now, the first 2 are just 40k related, and they were fine. They did their thing. The next 2 were Age of Sigmar based.
Oh, so I wrote them.
Which was interesting.
Thank you.
And I'd like to talk about the first one that's in there that's called Bear Eater. And I know these are reprints of something that was online, and
of stories that I wrote.
Okay, I'm just going to say, can you can talk about that afterwards, so I can get through this, and then you can give me your.
I would like to hear your constructive criticism on my work.
You can give the feedback of you as the author and not as
my pen name.
Your pen name of David Geimer, who is the guy that wrote this.
Me. Hit me.
But yeah, so this story is very interesting because it feels like they sat down and went, now, David, what we need you to do is write a story for the people that like Warhammer 40,000 and want something familiar, but it needs to be Age of Sigmar. So the story in it is about a guy whose name is Hamilcar Bear Eater, to be precise, which is why the name of the story is Bear Eater.
Cool name.
And he is a large man with facial hair who occasionally screams his own name while leaping at people, so I'm going to refer to him as Saxton Hale for the rest of this.
Okay, yeah, fair.
And what the story is Saxton Hale leading this group of other Stormcast Eternals who are described as previous mortals who have been ascended to now be, let's just say, post-humans, who have this magical armour that they also wield using these weapons that are also magical. Basically, you can replace a 40k story and replace technology with magic.
Yeah, but can they do kissing?
Presumably. I don't know. It hasn't been stated, but there are female Stormcast Eternals. So.
Okay, so it's already better than 40k. Ooh, what are you gonna... Yeah, type out that fucking angry comment because it just for some reason struck a nerve with you, you fucking weirdo. Eat me.
But they are on a quest to find a small faction of humanity who's been alone for a long time, so they develop their own weird ways and bring them back into humanity's fold in the name of the Emperor. Sorry, Sigmar.
Yeah.
So they're travelling to different planets, realms, to bring forth or to get all of these facets of humanity to join the large... I'm just going to say the word...
Imperial collection.
Yeah, a collection of Imperials, and, this one might have been infested by chaos. Maybe, we don't know.
Oh, no. See, that's... In your big imperialistic kind of gathering, you don't want to have a sudden backlash, like, heresy, I guess is the word, against the status quo.
But yeah, so it basically follows this basic plot of, like, the first chapter of any given Horus Heresy novel that's, like, the introduction to that Legion. Like, it's really bizarre.
To be fair, I kind of dig it.
So it was a little unusual to read because it was like you could like replace a handful of words here and it would just be a Heresy era story.
Well,
again, you wouldn't have to replace that many words either.
It does sound like it's a good gateway.
It would be. I imagine it would be a good gateway. The second one was a lot better and was sort of telling its own thing of Sigmar looking back into the past of a guy who could have attained godhood, and It's an interesting because in Age of Sigmar, Sigmar is now a god as opposed to just being like the super powerful king guy. Yeah. I don't know.
The
much.
horned rat joined chaos.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Good old horny rat boy.
It was an interesting read because I'm like sitting there going, I don't know what's going off, but these are basically Space Marines. I understand why some people started calling them like Sigmarines.
Yeah, it's Age of Sigmar just annoys me. I liked the setting of fantasy. I hadn't played it for a long time, but it was different enough to 40k for it to be worth existing. Whereas now,
I think that's the thing.
Sorry if anyone does like it, but as far as I can see, Age of Sigmar, in terms of gameplay and story, is just inferior 40k. And I just kind of don't see the point.
Dude, if that's the way you feel, that's the way you feel.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if I got back into it, like, I'd appreciate it more, but...
I'm definitely more of a sci-fi person as opposed to fantasy. I'm not massively into fantasy.
Yeah, no, I quite like the fantasy. You got to use, like, especially because I quite liked the I had an Empire army, and you had like loads of like tech things. I had all the cannons and like twizzly round big cannons and
twizzly round big cannons.
Well, they were called something Hellblasters.
Twizzly round big cannons.
I can't remember. But twizzly round big cannons. I don't know, and it was and you got to like have like hordes of skeletons all rank and file coming towards you, and you get to have a cannon shot straight through them, and I don't know, I quite liked it.
I think the thing is that I think
I guess no one was playing it, so that's presumably
Yeah,
why they changed. So
that was the thing that it just
It
didn't.
was the minority kind of.
Yeah, it didn't do the numbers that they needed to kind of justify the whole range. And to be fair, I think doing the whole Age of Sigmar thing sort of let them off the rails a little bit to be able to do new things with the setting.
yeah, but it's a different setting. It's not.
Yeah, because it is a whole new setting.
It's light 40k light with realms instead of planets or whatever.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know how much when you start reading more stuff in it, how much this how much it feels like that. But like I say, just reading this one story felt like it was like, we need the people who read 40k novels to like this. Let's make something as close to it as we can get without like just name dropping characters. So yeah, but it's interesting. I've got the 2 stories I've got left are both Heresy era stories. One of which is written by Aaron Dembski-Bowden, so I'm happy because he's my favourite library author. So
he's a nice boy.
Nice.
The other story that was in there was talking about how Lucas the Trickster did his trial.
Slept with 12 women and then fucking one.
No, it was after. It's him doing his trial, becoming a Space Wolf. Like when he's
doing the
when he gets thrown out into the wilderness and has to find his way back and kills the doppelganger.
He slept with 12 sexy lady bears that night. Yeah, we've all heard this story.
He slept with 12 doppelgangers, and that's how he got the pelt.
That's how he got the pelt. Yeah. Well, they put it over him because he was so sleepy of having had sex with 12 sexy doppelgangers.
He may also kind of eat his way out of the inside of a Kraken.
Vor. Okay. Vorhammer comes back.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. I'll give my report on the last 2 stories once I've got through them. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so that's all I've really done apart from obviously the stuff that we've done together, like the board gamey stuff and the doing all the streams and the live stuff. So I guess all we have left is to do the questions.
Questions.
So do we have questions?
We have some questions, yes.
And good. Where should people send that? Which you should send your questions. Where should people send their questions if they want us to answer them?
They should send them to onlydrummermat@snipeandwib@gmail.com.
What's that again?
onlydrummermat@snipeandwib@gmail.com.
That's a fucking stupid email address.
Yes. And the first at is the word at.
Yes.
In case you try to write an email address with 2 at symbols in it.
I wonder how many people have tried to send us a question.
I mean, I wouldn't blame them because it's a stupid email address.
It's the stupidest email address.
It is in the description, so, you know.
So some of them aren't questions. So for the first one, Wesley emailed in to ask if we, and more specifically you, Wib, have seen Stage 9. It's a group of people recreating the Enterprise D in the Unreal, I think, 4 engine. So you can, like, wander around inside it and explore.
You know, I think I have heard something about that, but I didn't know that was the name, and I've not. I think I just heard it, like, idly mentioned on Twitter or something once, and I never checked it out.
Okay. No, they're called Stage 9, is the, I don't know, company or group or person, possibly. I assume it's not just a person.
That definitely sounds like something you'll be interested in.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it. Like, you can download it, but I don't know if it's like a game, because if it's Unreal 4, I guess it's just a whole game. It
sounds like it would just be an executable or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched some videos and saw some screenshots, but I haven't actually checked out.
That sounds like if it is something I can just run, then that sounds like something I might be able to talk about on my Dumb Little Side channel, because I've not made any videos for that for a while. So
okay.
Yeah, you haven't made any videos for your channel. Oh, you're a dick.
No comment, because that would be mean.
But yeah, so thank you to that person for
appropriately named
that.
Wesley. So I mean, just
yes.
Shut up, Wesley.
No, don't. Wesley told us good information.
Shut up, Wesley. I'm kidding, Wesley. You're amazing. Thank you.
Next up, Kyle emailed in to tell us to don't ever change. So that was nice.
Okay. Not even my self-destructive behaviour? Well, okay, Kyle. Okay.
All that work you've been doing with the therapist?
Fuck it. No, I'm joking. That's a very sweet thing to say. Thank you, Kyle.
And their last point was they sent a picture of their doggo.
Oh, good.
Cool.
She's called Bracken, and she's an 8-year-old collie. And I will tweet this out. If you remind me when you put the episode live, I'll tweet it. We've got Twitter permission, so I'll tweet it out then.
Sweet.
And you guys can see it then as well, because it's in my phone, which is in a different room. So
Sure.
You'll see it on the day as well. But she's excellent.
Doggo hype.
Yes, doggo hype. Next up, So, an anonymous person wrote in, and
Hit me.
well, no, it's not, because
Hit
they
you.
want to stop being anonymous, so they need a name. So, Snipe,
Okay.
Huh?
you're a random name generator.
I am.
What internet name should this person use on the spot?
Greg. I don't know. I don't know anything about this person in which to name them.
Yeah.
Have they given, like, do they like pie?
I mean, yeah, who doesn't?
Some people don't like pie.
No, they're not people.
Well,
That's a very hard line stance you have there,
I
man.
think-
It is. I realise this.
I'm panicking, so my brain's just defaulted to the Beast of Burden.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I heard Matt Mercer say it, and I love him. And it just stuck in my mind. So instead of the Beast of Burden, you should be the Beast of Burberry.
Not the Beast of Bodmin.
Not the Beast of Bodmin, that's ridiculous. No, the Beast of Burberry, because I was thinking about Bramble Jam, but then that made me think of Whoa, Black Betty, Bramble Jam, and that makes me think of Tom Jones's hair. And he probably wears Burberry.
Your mind is a terrifying place.
That's how my mind works.
It's no fucking wonder I can never understand what you're talking about.
So extract a name from that.
The
Yeah.
Beast of Bramble Jam. The Beast of Burberry. That's what
From
you
that
want.
fucking bizarre stream of consciousness you just heard, find a name.
You literally bank on my stream of consciousness. Every time you write a script, you sit there and go, I need you to just sit there and panic for 5 minutes and just run your mouth. And then you write that into the script somehow.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
So
Yeah.
don't fucking sass me about my fucking stream of consciousness shit. Hecker.
Their
I hope that helped. Anon.
Hopefully. Their second point was that they've been led to believe that Snipe enjoys the Witcher series, or at very least the books.
It's alright.
So they were wondering if you've ever played The Witcher 3.
The what now?
The Witcher 3?
The Witches. Oh, they have a third one.
Yeah, they were wondering if you'd heard of it.
What? Where is that in the book series then?
I don't know.
Okay. It's probably after Sword of Destiny. I mean, I don't know. It could be a
Probably.
prequel. I think so.
Who knows? Who knows
No.
your relationship with The Witcher 3?
I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
Okay, and last up, so this email I'm gonna read all of because it's a glorious email.
Right, okay.
Dear Drummer Matt, holy fucking shit, dude. I just watched the live MisanthroPod and the horrible jelly bean eating thing. I've always envisioned you as a nerdy little British guy, not this rugged hunk of manly beard beast that you apparently are. Good job, mate. Your beard makes the world a better place. Best regards, Swordbiter.
Oh my god. Okay, first off, skinny, like, nerdy British guys, still hot.
So there's some follow-up for this. So P.S. Regular Matt's beard is also very good, so there's no need for beard envy. Just because someone else has a bigger one doesn't make yours small. P.P.S. All beards are important, but the most important one is the one you have in the inside. And he thinks that Snipe has a lovely inner beard.
Thank you. I was just going to ask, so thank you very much for that.
PPPS. They unfortunately don't have a dog, but they've sent a cat picture through. Who's called Jane.
Cool.
She's a dainty lady. So I'll tweet that out as well if anyone else is.
Good.
Just so we're not exclusively doggo focused. Apparently we can use her picture in whatever, in brackets, specified, non-sexual manner you want.
Well, I've got no ideas.
Yeah, that's all your ideas out the window.
Not really.
PPPPS. I almost forgot my question. So they've got around to asking a question now. If you guys were any sort of normal, so non-Astartes, humans in the 40k universe, what would it be and why?
I want to be an Inquisitor, because then I could literally eat chow mein for every meal of every day, and if anyone had a go at me for it, I'd kick him out the airlock.
I mean,
Yeah, okay.
yes, that's fair.
You see, I think I have stated before that if I was, I would, realistically, I'd probably just be a member of the Imperial Guard and get eaten by a Tyranid.
That's the thing, I'm idealising it.
Yeah.
So I'd probably just be like, I'd be the skull on a war boss's arm.
But if I could pick, you know what? Let's go for something a little bit different. I'd like to be like, say, the captain of a large Imperial ship.
Cool, I'll hire you to bring me chow mein for every meal, and if you have a
Okay.
problem with that, I'll kick you out the fucking airlock.
That's fair. Secretly, I just want to be a gender swapped Latara Saren and fire the Ursus claws at people.
Everybody wants to be Lataris. Everyone. So it's okay. I'll tell you what, I'll hire you.
To fire the Ursa's claws at people.
To fire the Ursa's claws at people. Bring me chow mein for every meal, otherwise I'll kick you out of the airlock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you be, Matt?
Well, I mean, the only thing that I would do in that sort of thing, I some sort of... Because they don't really have scientists or things, because they don't really do the whole... Look.
You'd be a tech priest.
Well, you could be a member of the Mechanicum.
Yeah, but that's kind of... I don't know.
So
you basically speak in binary anyway.
Well, that's more... The Mechanicum are more, as far as I see it, mechanics and fixing old stuff rather than inventing new stuff. And, like, the actual inventing new stuff on paper I could probably do. The fixing things in real life, if it's anything like fixing a car, I cannot do. So... I'd be a janitor somewhere. Let's not beat about the bush.
I'd be if I was anything that wasn't already dead, I'd probably be a servo skull because I'd be terrible. I
don't know.
People would throw like rolled up bits of paper at me as just something to do.
It should be noted, if you were crap in 40k, you wouldn't be a servo skull because generally that's a sign of honour to be made into a servo skull.
No.
You'd be a servitor.
That's what I meant, servitor. I'd be a sniper-tor, and everyone would be like, "This thing sucks," and just kick me about a bit.
To be fair,
kick me out the airlock.
To be fair, Matt, there are places that still do R&D. It's just very slow and very dogmatic.
I would have been born on one of the human worlds that the Tau then expanded to, and I'd join the Tau Empire and be a scientist for them.
That's fair enough.
There we go.
I've joined the Inquisition just so I can purge people like you, but not really. I want you to invent a new type of chow mein that kicks people out of airlocks.
I'll invent an anti-purging cream so you can't purge me, and then we can hang out.
So anti-purging cream.
It's like suntan lotion. You put it on, it's like SPF.
SPF 1000.
Except it protects you from exterminatus.
Yeah, except the P stands for purge, not protection or whatever it stands for in SPF.
Yeah.
I don't... Sun...
Yeah, SPF, Snipe Purge Factor.
Potato baking factor.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
Snipe purge factor.
So, are you telling me, in the 41st millennium, when I'm obviously going to be this radical Inquisitor...
Doing nose bones.
Doing nose bones and kickflips everywhere, because I'm so radical, that they will actively not only create, and I'm talking you will create, patent, distribute on a trans-global scale specific cream designed to protect people from me.
No, to protect people from being purged by you specifically.
Okay. Be
and
fucking...
in my defence, I'd only patent it until I'd made back the research and development costs, and then I'd release the patent for everyone.
Okay, you know what? That's rad. That's rad. And then there'd be like all sorts of other knockoff. Like, what would you call this anti-purging, like snipe protection, purge protection, fucking whatever? What does it stand for?
SPF, Snipe Purge Factor.
Okay. So yeah, what would you call it?
I don't know.
You'd need to get a name guy on board.
Yeah, it needs to be, and the name would be trademarked because then you'd set it as like the original.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So other people could use it as well, but if someone wanted the original,
like anti-snipe purge cream.
Yeah.
Trademark, registered trademark.
But in the comments, people tell us what this should be called.
Yeah.
You know, because we
Snipe
can't.
be gone. Well, it doesn't get rid of me. It just means if I purge you, it doesn't do anything.
Purge be gone.
Purge be gone. Well, I mean that doesn't. Yeah, that could work. Snipe purge be gone.
Yeah.
It's a bit unwieldy.
Well, I'm not a name guy, but no, like, so we have like it's SPF 1000. So do I go above a power purge level of 1000? Like, is like 1000 my super mad?
I think these are minor concerns that will be worked out going through the prototype phase.
Yeah, exactly. Their very last point before we move on is just they also said PPPPPS what your favourite equipment would be, but I think we've all established it would be the SPF cream of some kind.
Oh yeah, we'd all carry
the
it
Snipe
just in case.
Purge Factor cream.
Yeah.
Well,
1000.
we've established that we'd all need it because apparently the only thing this Inquisitor would do, the Snipe Inquisitor, is kick people out of their locks. So we'd all need to.
Only if they had a problem with me eating like bad stuff for dinner. If they were like, oh, maybe you should eat more vegetables, I'll just kick you out the fucking airlock. How dare you say such a thing to me?
So what, you're removing...
In this economy!
Anyone who cares for your well-being, out the airlock. Immediately.
No, anyone who's like... the thing is, it's the fucking 41st millennium. I'll just have like a servo thing in my stomach. So that everything that I eat will get turned into something magically nutritious.
What, like there's just a servo skull buried in your stomach that just spits out all the bad stuff?
Yeah, I have like a zip.
Just whenever you
I have a servo skull in my personal quarters. I go and I unzip my belly, And it just reaches in there and pulls out all the food that's bad for me and leaves like maybe a couple of bits of onions or whatever it is.
I don't think you understand basically anything about biology, science, technology, or... Well, really
this
anything.
is the kind of talk that gets you kicked out of the fucking airlock.
So anyway, I guess we will say goodbye for now then.
Yes, I think we probably should.
And we'll catch you in another 2 weeks.
Thank you for listening, and be sure to eat lots of vegetables.
That was said so uncertainly, I don't believe you.
I wasn't paying much attention.
I noticed.
The heat has gotten to me. I can't function. So eat lots of vegetables.
Drink
do
lots
8
of
hours of drugs. Drink your milk. And we shall see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.